Hey everyone, thanks for checking out another episode of Wonderful Garbage. I am your host, Wonderful Garbage creator Angela. Thank you so much for either checking me out first time or a returning customer. I appreciate it so much. Thanks for being here. Hope everyone's having a good week so far, or if it's shitty, I'm sorry. And I hope it gets better, and I hope this gets your mind off of whatever is going on for the next hour or so. I will do my best to keep it under an hour if you know I like to talk and ramble like I'm doing now. Oh, I just got back from my hair appointment. If you're watching this on video, you're welcome. As I wore like a really dirty sweatshirt that literally just came out of the wash but has like oil stains on it or something. I'm not really sure what happened. Hair appointment, just got a nice trim, face framed, layers, still wanting the hair to grow, and redid my bangs, so I got some attitude going on. There's just nothing like a good hair appointment or like a feel good appointment, just to make you like relax, chill. The guy I go to, shout out Jimmy, I've known him for years, so it's just really nice and chill there. He always has good snacks and good drinks, and we just shoot the shit. So I'm just in a good mood because I had a hair appointment, right? We have to look at the little things that make us joyful. In this joyous holiday season, how the hell are we already in December? How the hell is Christmas in a couple of weeks? And Hanukkah or Kwanzaa if you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate, it's just the end of the year. Yay! Are we excited for 2025? I don't know yet. I'm turning 35, and that's a big deal for me. Yeah. What's gonna happen in 2025? Are we gonna be okay? Will we be okay? Will we be fine? Will I be able to still do this podcast? Ah! Okay, I have to tell you all about something that really made me LOL at work last week, and it has to do with soaking. If you've watched The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, or know any Mormons, or just know Mormon sex culture, then you know about soaking. It's when two people um, want to have sex but religiously can't, so they just put we can use Heather Gay's analogy of a hot dog in the bun and then just leave it there. There's no motion, there's no nothing. In addition to soaking, if you're just laying there, you can have a third jump in. I talked about this on one of the Salt Lake City recaps. It's called jump humping, where you are in your soaking state and you bring in a third to jump on the bed to mimic sex. But you're not actually doing the motion, so Joseph Smith won't be mad at ya. So that's soaking. I was taking a training at work, and it's funny, I'm a training coordinator for the department that I work for, and so I'm always like a little more critical or just like hyper aware of trainings that other departments put on, especially ones that are like just all company wide and stuff. And I'm a judgy girl and I like to see what everyone else is putting out there. So there was one that we had to take, and it's all about like, oh, they're introducing some new safety program at work, and what they want us to do, or like people to do, is like stop and reflect on the work that you're doing. People can come around and like ask you questions to, like, say there's an incident, then you're going to have a team of people that come in and they're going to ask you what happened, try to get like all the information, understand how you're supposed to be doing the work, how the instructions are provided to you, blah 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 blah. After you've had a debrief and you've talked, you're supposed to then soak. And as soon as I got to this part of the training, I was like, and I'm out. They want you to soak, which means they want you to like marinate in the thoughts and what you just learned from like your incident reporting or your incident breakdown. Then we want you to soak. And then it goes on to say like soaking overnight is highly encouraged. And I sent it to my boss. I was like, totally inappropriate question, but do you know anything about soaking? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'm gonna send you the stuff. And it just made me laugh because they couldn't come up with any other term other than soak. Like, you could be digesting, you can be like taking in this information, um, evaluate, right? Evaluate, reevaluate, go. Like, there are just so many other terms you can use besides soaking, right? Anyways, I wrote that down because I had to share it with you guys because it made me laugh a lot. Okay, fantasy football update. I'm in 2 of my playoffs. Blah blah blah. Yay. 2 out of 3. We call that a win. I didn't clinch bye weeks though, so I do have to play for my life. It's now or never. I hope these guys perform for me. I had a bye week last week that was pretty rough, so I have a bunch of people back on my bench, a lot of my starters, a lot of my good ones. Um, but yeah, if you're in fantasy football, I hope you do good. Unless you're in my league, then I hope you lose. No, just kidding. Alrighty, y'all. Let's just get into our. I could probably talk about a lot more things, but let's get into this week's pop culture recap. All right, we're going to start with Pantone's 2025 Color of the Year. I never really follow these too much because, like, how can you think of a color for a year and you have, like, no idea what's going to happen in it? I feel like they should do a color at the end of the year, like, given everything that's happened. Here's the color that represents the shit show that we went through in 2024. But Pantone has selected Mocha Mousse as the year, or as the color of the year for 2025. So from their website, it says Pantone selects a color each year that captures the global zeitgeist. The color of the year expresses a mobile mood and an attitude, reflecting collective desire in the form of a single, distinct hue. So they release what they think is going to be the upcoming color. Mocha Mousse is like a rich, creamy brown. But not like a traditional brown, like a lighter brown, right? More of that mousse type. The visuals on their website make me hungry. Because it literally looks like a malt being mixed, luscious chocolate ice cream. It also reminds me of I haven't been there in years, but Jason's Deli, they have a salad bar and then like some snacks on like down the salad bar, and they have this chocolate mousse with chocolate chips in it. I don't know if they still have it, but they used to. And holy moly, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna get the salad bar and I'm gonna load up on this fucking mousse because it is so good. And it literally reminds me of that. And I would love it if someone from Pantone was like, at Jason's Deli one day and was just like, huh, that's an interesting color. I'm going to suggest that at the next meeting. This should be the color of 2025. Um, so they say it is a warming brown hue, imbued. Oh, I looked up how to say this before I even started and I already forgot. It's been 15 minutes. Y'all, my brain, I don't know. It's a warming brown hue mixed with richness. It nurtures us with its suggestion of a delectable, wow, delectable qualities of chocolate and coffee, answering our desire for comfort. Again, basically like a neutral brown. On their website, they have color palettes so you can show like how you can style Mocha Mousse with like other different colors if you want it like warm or if you want it darker. And the houses basically look like a Kardashian house, like a Kim or a Chloe house, very neutral, a lot of creams. And then I was like, hold on, this just really looks like a Skims color. So now I'm starting a conspiracy. You heard it here first, that the Kardashians own Pantone. Also, last year's or this year's color is peach fuzz. I'm like, okay. It's like a mad peach. But like you couldn't come up with a better name for peach fuzz? Anywho, 2025 color of the year, Mocha Mousse. Go out and buy everything in that color. Okay, engagement news. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco are engaged. Selena posted last night, on Wednesday, that Benny popped the question, and she posted it with a caption that says "Forever begins now," and posted a couple pictures of them. It looks like he proposed on a picnic with Taco Bell, but the backdrop is like they're on a set. So I'm wondering if they were filming a commercial for Taco Bell. Selena Gomez had mentioned like for Valentine's Day she would just love like to lounge, have Taco Bell, chill night in. So what I'm thinking is they were gonna do like a Valentine's promo for Taco Bell, and then Benny went ahead and popped the question in the promo. Or maybe he set up like a fake shoot that they were going to do for Taco Bell and ended up just proposing to her. So then like they have it all like cinematically and everything. But she got a Marquise diamond, which is hella rare. It's like 5% of the diamonds in the world. It's this really like elongated, curved diamond with two pointy ends. Just stunning, gorgeous, beautiful. So Selena and Benny have been dating since the summer of 2023. They knew each other in the entertainment industry. Benny had worked with Selena on a couple of her songs back in the day. Then they started dating. They've been all lovey-dovey on social media. And Selena just looks genuinely happy. Like, for the amount of fame that she has, and her and Justin Bieber and all the haters and just everything. Like her lupus, her health stuff. Like she's gone through so much. And to meet someone who seems also like semi normal, like Benny, I think that's so good. So I don't know. I'm really happy for them. Congratulations. We love love. Okay, we have an update on Hana Kobayashi. She was the woman from Hawaii who flew to LA. She was apparently going to go to New York. She's a photographer, so she wanted to take some pictures out there, check out the art scene, but she didn't get on her flight from LAX to go to New York. She was texting her family some concerning text messages, they said, and then her phone was turned off. Like it was last pinged at LAX, and kind of seemed like maybe either she was meeting up with somebody, she got catfished or something. She maybe just felt uncomfortable with the person that she was going to meet up with, or just totally changed her mind, or was literally just like trying to leave her family and go do something else. But People Magazine came out with an article, and I don't know, maybe I'm just being too nitpicky, but like it bothers me that they're calling it voluntary vanishing. They're like, Hana Kobayashi has been found a month after voluntary vanishing into Mexico. And I get it. Like, it's not safe for women to travel by themselves. For people to travel by themselves in general, but especially women. Family had every right to be freaking out if they didn't hear from her. I know my mom would be doing the same thing. She would be on every news outlet here in Austin trying to find me. She'd be calling every single person she could possibly think of. Like, I get the family stress and freaking out of it, right? And then with the text messages, her phone last pinging at LAX, not being able to find her, like, yeah, you're like hella nervous. But like, we don't know what happened, and I really hope we find out what happened because it would really suck if it was just a waste of resources and she was like, just wanted to get away from people, you know? Um, Also, like, if you just wanted to get away, say, hey, I want to get away for a month. Like, I'm gonna go do some traveling. I will reach out. Like, don't worry. I don't know. But her family's come out and said that she's okay. They've been in contact with her. She's fine. LAPD says that they haven't been contacted, that she's back in the US yet. They still have her flagged as a missing person. So, like, when she crosses back on US soil, she'll be identified as a missing person. But if they can confirm that she's fine, then she's taken off the list. But yeah, I guess she's just chilling in Mexico. I don't know. It's all sad. And then her dad committing suicide. I read something that they were estranged. He hadn't been in her life in a while. And once all this happened, then he felt like he needed to come find her, which also is a little worrisome. And then he killed himself. It's like, what is happening? But she's officially been found and she's okay, so that is the best outcome you can hope for in a situation like this, right? I don't know. And also, is it our business what's going on? Probably not. But when you have all this like other hoopla, like now we're invested and we want to know. Okay, I haven't talked too much about the Diddy stuff because it's just too much. But like now with the Jay-Z allegation, I just do want to talk about it a little bit. Jay-Z's being accused of forcing himself on a minor back in 2000 after the VMAs. It was allegedly Jay-Z, Diddy, and a female artist were in the room. She was watching allegedly what was allegedly happening. So Jay-Z got notified by there's this attorney in Texas, Tony Busby. He's representing like hundreds of victims and he's planning on filing I think like 120 civil lawsuits against Diddy on behalf of the victims. And so he sent a letter to Jay-Z's attorneys last month saying like, hey, it's come out like your client's been named as an accuser and aggressor. We can like do mediation and see like what happens, or like we're going to continue to move forward with like a potential of you being named. So it's like, was the mediation going to be like a settlement? Like we've heard from other articles have said that we're not going to really hear about a lot of people who were also a part of this stuff because they are all settling quietly and just pushing a bunch of money to this. So it's like, was the attorney trying to do that with Jay-Z? Like, let's do mediation, you plead or whatever and settle, and then your name stays under wraps? Like, that's kind of weird. And then Busby was like, the attorney was like, after he sent this thing, they didn't hear back, and so they were like, okay, we're gonna move forward. And then he was like, I think I'm being followed. Like, he thought him and his family were being followed. Like, there was possibly like a PI on him. So, and like clients were being contacted to have a smear campaign about this guy. So, yeah, I'm sure this guy's gonna be getting a lot of heat from people because he's literally trying to take down Diddy, who was connected to all these other freaking people in the media industry. Jay-Z's just like 100% denies it. He says whoever does stuff like this should be locked away. The worst thing about this, like for him, he said, was having to sit down and explain it to his kids because it's going to be out in the news. And like, yeah, 100% that sucks. It's just like, you see all these pictures of them together at parties and these videos of them and like how close they were. And back in the like the 90s and the 2000s when rap was like huge and all these rappers were together, just all this stuff, it's just, I freaking hate it all. I am like sick for all the victims and for all the people and for how long this had gone on and the different ways that the people involved have ruined people's lives and hurt them to a point that is just, it's horrible. And anyways, I just, again, I'll get on the soapbox. Maybe this is why I don't talk about the Diddy stuff. But yeah, now Jay-Z's been implicated. And then that same night, or like the same day that all the stuff came out, it was the Lion King premiere. And him and Beyonce's oldest daughter, Blue Ivy, is in it, along with Beyonce. So they were all on the red carpet together. Some people were like, ugh, is that a good choice for him to be out there? It just all really fucking sucks. And if Jay-Z is really implicated in all of this, then yeah, he needs to like do the time. He needs to do all the time if this is 100% true, which I feel like it is, right? Like if he was like really, really close with Diddy and like at all these parties. Okay, let's move on to something else. Joe Burrow's house was burglarized. So Joe Burrow is the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, and his house was broken into earlier this week while he was in Texas beating the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. But there was an influencer staying at his house, Olivia Ponton, and she said she got to the house, found a broken bedroom window, and like the room was ransacked. So she ended up calling her mom first, and then the mom called 911. Because, of course, right? What do we do? Instead of calling the authorities, we call our parents first. But there's like no other info about it, suspects, what, if anything, was stolen. I think Olivia had come out and said like she wasn't too familiar with the room and what all was in it, so she couldn't tell if anything had been stolen or not. But damn, it's so scary. Like, this happened to Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, who both play for the Kansas City Chiefs. Last month, their burglaries were like one day apart, which was crazy. And, it's just scary and nerve-wracking thinking like every time you're gonna go out of town, is something gonna happen? And then they can't hide their out of town dates because we can see their away games, like their football schedule, so then when they're not going to be home. So it just sucks, but at least nobody was hurt and everything's okay. Joe Burrow's just like, my privacy is totally violated. There's already been way more information out there than I want out there right now. So he's like, I have nothing else to say, but like, I feel violated. So that sucks. Like, what is happening? Why do people feel the need to steal? That's just not cute. Okay, there's a new real estate show on Netflix coming out. We're out with buying Beverly Hills and we're in with selling the city, New York. So it's going to follow a group of agents from the Douglas Elliman brokerage, of course, which like there's so many agents of theirs that we've seen on other real estate shows, like Million Dollar Listing, New York and LA both had real estate agents from Douglas Elliman, uh, like Frederick and Ryan, the Altman brothers, and Tracy. And so it's gonna be focusing on Eleonora. She's starting her own real estate team. She's a broker. And so it's gonna be like, of course, the drama of real estate, the competition, insane houses and apartments, and like trusting your team, all that fun stuff. But my favorite thing about this show is that we get Steve Gold back on our screens. If you know, you know. He was on Million Dollar Listing New York, and he just really makes me want to pay attention to what I'm watching, when he's on the screen, you know? And he and his wife actually just welcomed their second kid. They have a 5-year-old daughter and just welcomed their second a couple months ago, I believe. So congratulations to them. And then I think, like, because Steve was on Million Dollar Listing when he met his wife. And I think he said it was like a meet cute on an airplane. Like, hey, is the seat taken? No, okay. They met, they chatted, and they've been together ever since. So that's really cute. But Selling the City, New York comes out on Netflix on January 3rd. So if you are still nursing that New Year's Eve hangover by then, you will have something to veg out on the couch and watch. Taylor Swift Eras Tour has come to an end. Girlie was on tour for 21 months. She made $2 billion in ticket sales alone. Not counting merch, y'all. Just ticket sales. And it's estimated about 10 million people attended the entire tour. How insane is that? Do y'all remember when Ticketmaster crashed for her pre-sale tickets? Because everyone was trying to buy those things and then they gouged the prices out of them like crazy. And then there was that potential bomb threat at one of her shows in Vienna. That was really sad. But, like, props to Taylor Swift, y'all. You can say whatever you want to say about her. Again, I don't, like, really listen to her. I listened to her in the beginning because we're, like, the same age. I loved her first album, Tim McGraw or whatever. Fearless? No, it was Fearless. Oh my goodness, I had that CD on repeat. But I mean, she sang every night, 3.5 hours, and dancing, and all the theatrics, and like high energy. Every single night, you have to be high energy. You can't show up and not give it 100%. Because, especially with like all the videos, like all the social media, you're going to see the videos on TikTok, you're going to see what she's performing, how she's doing, like, the criticism of that and the expectation of having to go out there and be 100% every single day sounds exhausting. But I was reading that part of her cardio training was running on the treadmill and singing her entire set so she could have that stamina and not get out of breath. So props to Taylor Swift. She sold out 149 shows. Wild. And then she gave, what, like $197 million in bonuses to her tour staff. Oh, how sweet is that? She says now she is just relaxing for her upcoming birthday and the holidays because she was pretty freaking exhausted. She was also the most streamed artist on Spotify. Anyone do their Spotify Wrapped? I did. I might post it. We'll see. Do you care? You don't have to care. It's all good. Okay, we're going to end this week's pop culture recap with the 2025 Golden Globe nominees. All right, so they came out earlier this week, and I just want to touch on a couple that I am excited about. The Golden Globes is going to be hosted by Nikki Glaser. I can't freaking wait on January 5th. So we have Selling the City, New York, January 3rd. And I think that's the same day that Southern Hospitality premieres on Bravo. I think they both premiere on January 3rd. One on Netflix, one on Bravo. And then we have the Golden Globes on the 5th. Good content for the beginning of 2025. Alrighty. Amelia Perez. It's a highly anticipated like musical movie with Carla Garson, Zoe Saldana, and Selena Gomez. It is the most nominated movie with 10 nominations. The Bear is the most nominated in TV with 5 nominations, and then Shogun and Only Murders in the Building are right behind with 4 nominations each. I still have not watched Shogun. I know it's so good. I think the Emmys were back in September, right? And they were nominated. I think they led the most nominations in a TV drama. And I was like, I'm gonna watch it, y'all. Bravo's keeping me hella busy. And then I try to watch other stuff with my husband so he's not left out. And, we're doing the best we can here. I also still haven't watched that McBee Family Farm Ranch show, like the real life Yellowstone shit, but it is on my list for the holidays. I am taking a couple weeks off at the end of the year, like soon. And I plan on vegging out. Okay, back to the nominations. The Substance with Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley was nominated for Best Motion Picture, along with Wicked and Nora and Challengers, which I was like, didn't Challengers suck? Did people not like it? Right? But I really want to see The Substance. It's like 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. I know it's supposed to be really, really good, but also like really, really creepy. But I figure I can watch most of it and then watch the creepy parts with my hands over my eyes like I used to do when I was a kid. But like in that spaced way where you can like still see a little bit of the TV, but not see everything. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna watch The Substance. I'll watch it. I'll tell you guys what I think. I hope I don't throw up. Inside Out 2 is nominated for Best Animated Motion Picture and Cinematic Box Office Achievement, which feels like a fake category, which is essentially just ticket sales, right? Inside Out 2, phenomenal. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. It is so good for tweens and adults. Because it's like Riley, the main character, is going into high school and all of the feelings and the friendship and the hormones. And she has many more emotions coming into play. Watch Inside Out 2. It is so freaking good. Okay, then Pamela Anderson is nominated for Best Performance by a Female Actor in a Motion Picture for The Last Showgirl. I talked about it in last week's pop culture recap. I cannot freaking wait for this movie. It looks so good, so raw. The perfect role, I feel like, for Pamela Anderson, where she is now in her life. Oh, I know I'm gonna cry. I'm almost crying, like, just talking about it. I'm very emotional today. Maybe it's this hair. Angelina Jolie, Nicole Kidman, Tilda Swinton, Fernanda Torres, and Kate Winslet are also nominated, along with Pamela Anderson for Best Performance by a Female Actor in a Motion Picture. Tough ass category, y'all. I mean, it's wild. Gosh, I really hope Pamela wins. I hope so badly. Oh, okay. Sebastian Stan was nominated for Best Male Actor in a Performance for the Apprentice movie. And if you listen to the Bravo TV recap I just put out about Meredith's Bat Mitzvah episode, her son Reed, I was like, he looks like an actor, and I can't think of the actor, and maybe his name starts like, maybe it's Christian or something. No, it's Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan. I think Meredith and Seth's oldest child, Reed, looks just like him. What do you think? Are you nodding yes? Or are you saying, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, and then Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are both nominated for Wicked. Duh. Kristen Bell and Adam Brody are both nominated for Nobody Wants This. Duh. Jason Segel and Harrison Ford are nominated for Shrinking. Duh. My therapy. I don't go to therapy. I watch Shrinking once a week and sob. And then I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay. And then Maya Erskine and Donald Glover are nominated for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Sofia Vergara is nominated for Griselda. Hell yeah. There's so many good nominations. I'm so excited about this. Again, Golden Globes, January 5th. Nikki Glaser. I just really want her to do a 3-hour roast of everyone. Like, screw the awards. Can you just talk shit about everybody in the room? That'd be great. All right, y'all, that is it for this week's pop culture recap. Let's get into our Bravolebrity Breakdown. All right, in this week's Bravolebrity Breakdown, I'm going to start with the shittiest things first, and then we're going to gradually move into happiness, and then we're going to end the episode with happiness. Do we love that? Or do we love that? Oh my goodness, I totally forgot. I didn't even talk about, like, Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie's new show. Shoot! Okay, I'm going to talk about it next week. We'll all watch it if we have Peacock. Okay. Bravolebrity news. James Kennedy has been arrested and booked for misdemeanor domestic violence. James Kennedy was on Vanderpump Rules. He was arrested Tuesday night, which is the same night as Kathy Hilton's Christmas party in collab with DirecTV. James and his girlfriend Allie both attended. There's pictures all over social media of them online there that night. James and Allie had even posted about it, or at least Allie had posted about it, I believe. But police were called to a residence about an argument between James and a woman. Assuming this call took place at their home and assuming that it was Allie, but we have no idea. James was taken in and booked and later released after posting $20,000 bail. He could potentially get, like, formal charges brought against him. It's all still being investigated. Okay, you watch Vanderpump Rules, you know James is a hothead, and he has outbursts, and we've seen the behavior, right? He gets drunk, or stuff happens, he outbursts, blames other people for his problems, then either loses his job or gets suspended or something, sometimes even nothing, and then he goes on his apology tour, and then it all happens again and again, and there have been claims before about or whisperings of possible alleged abuse with other girlfriends. When James was dating Rachel on Vanderpump Rules, she had gotten a nose job, and your nose is very sensitive after a nose job. You cannot have anything like come near it, move, touched in any way. It can misshape the nose, and then you're fucked. That happened to Rachel. She said James had, like, accidentally hit her nose or bumped her nose, I think, when he was, like, trying to kiss her or something. That's what she said. Her nose was crooked, just a little bit on the tip. Now people are wondering, was there more to that? James famously dated Kristen Doty on the show. James was Kristen's rebound fling after her on-again, off-again horrible relationship with Tom Sandoval. They were one of the OG couples of Vanderpump Rules. They broke up season 2. James came in, and Kristen actually writes about this in her book that she put out called He's Making You Crazy. I got this video from Brittany Adams on TikTok, and Kristen writes in her book, she has an abuse chapter. It's a couple-page chapter. It's called The Darkest Hour. Kristen doesn't mention names in the book, but Brittany points out in her TikTok that the book is written in chronological order, so you can tell, like, okay, she's done with Tom Sandoval, she talks about their breakup, and then she talks about a fling that she got into right after that, so we are assuming that it was James that she is referring to in the book. But she says, you know, it was a lot of fun in the beginning, and then the abusive behavior starts, but it started out small. It would be like yelling and name calling, but he would always apologize after. And then it went from like every other day of name calling and yelling to every day of this constant put downs, constant verbal abuse. She says in her book that she didn't realize how broken she was from him. he blamed her for all of his problems. Then the abuse and anger escalated, where there was broken furniture, broken pictures in the house, holes punched into walls. Then it escalated into more abuse of shoving, pushing, physical restraint. Again, Kristen does not name names in the book. We are just alleging it could be another one of her boyfriends. Who knows? It's really freaking sad. I think even James's ex-friend Logan had posted something about, like, James got angry one night, broke his nose, and they got into a fight or something, and so Logan hasn't been friends with James after that, and just fuck these men. Fuck these people who think that they can put hands on people, that think that they can degrade somebody, and think that just because, like, you're a shitty person, they want to inflict the shit and the pain on everybody else because they're so unhappy with themselves and so miserable and just a trash human being. And I hope Allie's okay. If this happened to Allie or whoever the woman was, like, we don't know any details. Really freaking sucks. I mean, you just lost your job on Vanderpump Rules. You're relying on your DJ career. And then now you got this shit. Like, this is not going to be good for you, man. But that's what abusers get, right? So it really freaking sucks. It's really disgusting. Just a horrible human being if this is all true. So, okay, let's get into some less shitty news, maybe. Tom Sandoval's a lawyer now? Did y'all know? More Vanderpump Rules news, I guess. So Tom Sandy is being sued by his ex-fleeing affair member, James's ex-girlfriend. Actually, James's ex-fiance, actually. I keep forgetting how intertwined these people are. It's so wild. James was dating Raquel on the show, proposed to her with Tom Sandoval's help. Tom Sandoval paid for, like, half of this huge Coachella-esque proposal. James and Raquel get engaged. They break up. Tom's with Ariana Madix, Queen of Our Lives, for 9 years. Also really good friends with Rachel. Rachel and Tom start hooking up. Just fucking wild. The things that people think about just are insane. My husband was watching a documentary earlier while I was doing some work from the couch, and it was about, like, this guy who started as an Elvis impersonator and then went to, like, got into conspiracy theories about people selling body parts, and then got framed for trying to poison the president of the United States. And it's like this 3-part documentary, and it's just like, what is happening? He got framed by a Wayne Newton impersonator because they didn't like each other, and you're just like, people are deranged. I have no idea what's going on. But anywho, Tom Sandy's a lawyer. His ex, Rachel, is suing him for revenge porn. Their trial is set for November 3rd of next year. So Tom has a year to learn law. And I know I've seen people say, like, oh, he should call Craig Conover. Craig should represent him from Southern Charm. Absolutely not. Do not bring Craig into this mess. Craig doesn't need to represent anybody. Craig's barely a lawyer. Craig is working on being a multi-hyphenate right now. They just opened a new restaurant, which I'm going to get to in the next story. But, yeah. No. Also, I'm really looking forward to Tom Sandy's, like, method acting of lawyerness. I hope he watches, like, Suits and How to Get Away with Murder. Maybe some NYPD Blue. I know it's more, like, cop-related, but I loved that show when I was a kid. Law and Order. I mean, holy moly. Homie can study law and lawyers for the next year. Also, his outfits for court are probably going to be great. He's going to go like very meta. I'm interested to see the transformation. And interested, I mean like barely give a shit. I barely give a shit about what Tom Sandoval is going to look like at his trial. TBD, y'all. Check y'all in a year. We'll circle back. Right, that's what everyone's saying now at work. Let's circle back at the beginning of the year, because we're no longer working. Just kidding, boss, if you're listening, I'm totally working. Okay, let's get into Craig and Austen's new restaurant. So Craig and Austen, the boys of Southern Charm, have officially opened their restaurant called By the Way in Charleston. It opened last night. The place looks really cute, really moody, like low lighting, very sophisticated. And it's a cute name. Like, oh, by the way, did you hear we have a restaurant? It's called By the Way. Oh, by the way, do you want to eat? I know a great place. Let's go. But the menu looks really good. They have steak frites. I'm a hoe for steak frites. Mushroom ravioli, burrata, French onion chicken. Put it all in my mouth. Brown butter crab crostini. What? I've never been to Charleston and I have no plans on going to Charleston anytime soon. But maybe just for this restaurant. Yeah. Of course they sell Trop Hop. That's Austen's beer. Of course Austen's gonna get Trop Hop in there. And on the menu it says, brought to you by the same guy from that same show. And then Craig, he's also, again, working on his multi-hyphenateness, Esquire. Craig is now, or he's been a part of the Spritz Society, which is a seltzer company. And they have Spritz on the menu as well. And it also says, brought to you by that other guy from that show and Boy with No Job, because it's from like the Girl and Boy with No Job. Claudia, like the Toast people, they all have this Spritz Society company. So congratulations to Craig and Austen. The growth of these guys, y'all. Again, Craig's growth should be studied. And the place looks cute. I hope it does really well. Like, I'm sure of course it's gonna do well. Like, how can it not do well? So go them. Maybe I'll go to Charleston one day. I would love to do like a Bravo tour of things across the country. Cross-country Bravo tour. That would be a lot of fun. I'll make it there one day. Okay, Jen Shah is a lucky prison lady. Her sentence has been reduced for the third time. So the former Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Jen Shah, was sentenced to 6.5 years for a telemarketing scheme defrauding the elderly. Her original release date was going to be in 2029. Then it got bumped to August of 2028. And then it shortened to December 2027. And now it's going to be November 2027, like an exact month difference, which I don't know too much about reducing prison sentences, not gonna lie, but I know it usually happens for like good behavior, especially if they're like in a rehabilitation program and are showing like in good faith they're really a changed person. But I'm like, why did they move it up just a month? Like, what's happening? Well, she'll be making a surprise cameo on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season, what would that be, 8? Yeah, in 3 years, season 8. Crazy. Anyways, Jen's lucky. I mean, she is in prison, but she's gonna be out soon-ish. Okay, good news to end. Lindsay Hubbard is a mama. She gave birth earlier this week to baby Gemma Britt. Lindsay Hubbard is from Summer House. She posted a couple pictures in the hospital, like breathing before the baby and then after baby on her chest, and she's just crying, saying like it's the happiest, most love overflowing moment of her life. And then she later posted a collab with Jimmy John's sandwiches because girlie needs to make that coin. She's got a kid now. So it was really cute. And I just think back to last season of Summer House where we saw the demise of Carl and Lindsay's engagement and relationship, where it picked up at the end with Carl just essentially calling off their engagement. And then all the girls coming to check in on Lindsay, and Paige from Summer House saying, like, you have no idea what your life is going to be like in a year. Who knows? You can be in like the most loving relationship. You could have a kid. And wah fucking la. She literally had a baby a year later. It's just beautiful. And I'm so happy for Lindsay because she's wanted a kid for so long. I'm really interested to see Lindsay pregnant on Summer House because she loves a good drink, and then she gets activated and gives us fantastic TV. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her on Summer House. And babies are just so much fun because I can just give them back and then I go home and chill. Alrighty, y'all. Well, that is all the garbage talk for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow wherever you are listening to this on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. And follow me on social media. But follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Wonderful Garbage. Thank y'all so much for listening. I will be putting out a Bravo TV recap this week as well. Recapping this past week's Potomac, Beverly Hills, Salt Lake City, and Southern Charm. Putting a pause on my New York recaps for right now. But anywho, thank y'all so much for listening. Until next time.